Hey, today I'm talking about 3 2018 Korean rom-coms. And the names of those 3 movies are On Your Wedding Day, The Princess and the Matchmaker, and Cheese in the Trap. First up is On Your Wedding Day. This is a 2018 film, and hot damn, did I love this film. It is exactly what I was hoping for. It's so delightful. It's so charming. The 2 leads are just the most adorable people ever. I could not get enough of them. And then the story's so good and beautiful and sad, but like in the best way. It has such an interesting ending. I won't get into the specifics of the ending, but I have so much more I want to say about this movie. Like, I always say when it comes to rom-coms that I don't care if it's filled with tropes or cliches, as long as the chemistry between the 2 people who are supposed to be in love is felt. That's all I need. And hot damn are these 2 just exploding with the chemistry. The basic premise is, in high school there's this boy who is always getting into fights and causing trouble, but then one day this new girl shows up and all of the boys are like, she's gonna be mine, including their main boy. And as sort of outcasts, they form a little bond, but it's definitely trepidatious for a long time. So it's about their relationship, but it takes place over the course of several different years and how their relationship evolves and they come in and out of each other's lives. And it's so interesting because like at the core of it, she's sort of like a manic pixie dream girl in a sense, because she does do things like early on, he wants to date her obviously, but she's like, you fight a lot. No. And he's like, all right, I will never throw another punch again. And he stays true to his word. He gets his ass kicked. So that was just wonderful. Love that to bits. Oh, also, the leads have such a height difference. She is a shorty and he is a tall boy. I love that they didn't try to hide the height difference. It makes for fun visuals and it's just visually interesting and unique because, you know, so many movies want to make all their leads the exact same height. But here they're not shying away from that. They're not trying to do that, and that's fantastic. Also, the movie is not afraid to dip into the spice. We don't really see anything, but it's more just like conversations. Porn is a recurring thing that comes up a lot and it's really funny, but also feels very real because, you know, they're high schoolers and college kids. So like that stuff comes up a lot. It's important to people in that age. The movie is just such a good mix of light and fun and funny and cute and adorable, but it doesn't afraid to touch on those more heavy emotional moments and go to some almost dark places. And that leads to such an interesting conclusion that I didn't see coming. It was just so interesting. I love that. So yeah, no, I crazy love this movie and would definitely recommend it. Obviously, if you're a fan of rom-coms, for sure, without a doubt, you want a good love story, this is it. But even if you're more lukewarm on rom-coms, it's just straight up a good story told well. So yeah, no, I blanket recommend this movie to everyone. It's delightful, it's fun, it's charming, and it goes to some really unique and interesting places. Yeah, no, thoroughly enjoyed it, definitely recommend. Next up is The Princess and the Matchmaker. This is a 2018 period piece film, and the basic premise is there's this awful drought that's happening, and the king has done everything he can to fix the vibe of the kingdom, except marry off his daughter because everyone thinks she's cursed and it's just bad luck. But desperate times call for desperate measures, and so he invites all of the men of the kingdom to apply. Then they're going to use, well, the matchmaker from the title is a guy who like reads birth dates, times, that sort of stuff. So the princess then breaks out to investigate like the final 5 choices, and she keeps bumping into the matchmaker guy, and maybe there's a little bit of chemistry between them, and it's super adorable. So yeah, no, this is again exactly the vibe that I was looking for. Like, it's so fun, it's so silly, it's so delightful, so charming. The leads have fantastic chemistry and are just so adorable together. The story story is definitely a bit silly because the matchmaker's date reading stuff is definitely treated like this is factual, this is pure science, but it's pretty easy to just get sucked into that. Like, it's just believing any sort of magic system in any other type of movie. One of my favorite moments was the first kiss. There were literal fireworks. It was so funny and adorable. That's what the movie is. It's very similar stuff to that. And it does get a little dark at times, but it doesn't shy too far away from the good-hearted rom-com vibe that I was itching for. So yeah, no, it's a good, solid vibe. It's not a perfect movie, but it's still one that's definitely worth checking out if you want a nice, fun, cute little rom-com. And lastly is Cheese in the Trap. This is a 2018 film that I would not call the rom-com. Like, it is described as a rom-com, and like, it has some certain elements of rom-com, but hot damn, do they stray so far away. It just gets so dark and disturbing and just really kills any sort of vibe that I had going with it. Okay, the premise is this girl likes this guy who's kind of a dick at all times, but also other times he's really into stuff. It's very melodramatic, but dressed up to look like a rom-com. So just like the vibe is off. Like, the movie starts with main girl drops a bunch of papers, and then the boy is like, you should really watch where you're going, and then like kicks the papers as he walks away. And I'm like, all right, so I hate this guy. And then it does this like ridiculous montage that is just so tonally different from the scene that we just had. They kind of do bring it back a little bit so that I sort of care about the leads getting together. But what also then hurts it is there's this whole storyline with a stalker, and it just, oh my god, it's so intense and so awkward and just not the fun, cute rom-com vibe that I was hoping for. And then on top of that, this is getting into spoiler territory, is there is this very minor plot about this guy who beats women with bricks. Spoiler part, he beats up several of the main characters with bricks, like the main woman. We see it happen. It's violent. It's bloody. This is not the vibe I want in my cute, fun rom-com. So putting aside what I wanted and looking at this film for what it is, which is just this melodramatic thing that bounces between light, fun, fluffiness and really dark, disturbing things, I don't think even if I went into this with zero expectations, I would have come out the other side having enjoyed it. Because it just feels like such tonal whiplash. These two absurd extremes. I didn't hate the movie. I still was entertained by it and it kept my attention. So yeah, no, this was a solid meh film and I don't recommend it. It's so not my vibe. Alright, Tina, for today's rankings. First up, we got On Your Wedding Day, sitting at number 22 in the really like section. And then after that is The Princess and the Matchmaker, sitting at number 74 in the quite like section. And then bringing up the rear, rightfully so, is She's in the Trap, sitting at number 187 in the meh category. This is out of a total of 219 old movies so far this year.